Hello, welcome to Kombucha and OT, the podcast where all our ducks are in a row.
Are they though?
Well, I sounded confident when I said it.
You did.
So
You did.
welcome back. We are, what's new? Oh, I have blueberry kombucha and I know it's not very, but I want to do something crazy next. So stay tuned for
Have you
that.
ever tried pumpkin spice?
Yes, you didn't like it. It's on
Oh,
video on the podcast. No, I'm sorry. It's on audio on the
what
podcast.
about cinnamon? What about apple cinnamon?
That I've made. I just can't remember if you liked it or not. But the one that I haven't made that you told me to make that I need to make, ooh, say that 5 times. Pineapple.
Yes.
I know I
Yeah.
haven't made it yet. So maybe that'll be my crazy one.
All right.
And I don't know if it would taste right, but I want to try like a chai one.
Hmm.
I don't know. But I
Hmm.
liked the pumpkin spice. You just didn't. Anywho, we are ready for the podcast.
Your hair is so long. I don't think I've ever seen your hair so long.
Do you cut hair? Like, this is not the time for this, but I need a haircut.
You don't want me to cut your hair. I'm not good at hair. I can do your makeup, but hair is a whole
Let me
other
see.
beast.
I've got a bunch of
Wow.
receipts in here, but here we go. I do have one to pull up. You
Oh,
can't
here,
see.
here's a little fella.
Oh, why? Why? Oh,
There
there
it
he
is.
is.
Whoop, there he is.
So many receipts there. Just it's the stuff jar. The stuff jar. All right, here's a good one.
All right, what do we got?
Have you ever seen that show Naked and Afraid?
Negative afraid?
Naked and Afraid?
Oh, naked and afraid. Yes, I love that show. It's
So
so
the
funny.
words on here say PRN and Alone. I mean, it's not funny, but it
It
made
could
me
be
think
true.
it made me think of Naked and Afraid.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. So full
PRN
disclosure,
and alone.
we work full time. So we do this either on a lunch break real quick, just so you know, or at night.
After work.
And so I just need you all to know that
Uh-oh.
sometimes it's crazy times. So
Crazy. Okay.
PRN and Alone. So what that person wrote in was about their new grad PRN at a facility, and they're getting ready to start. So hopefully we're on the ball and they haven't started yet. Anyway, we're going to give you some tips. So they're
Yeah.
going to be the only one maybe on a Saturday as a new grad. Like, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. As a student, you wouldn't have that situation because you're going to be there with your team, the supervisor. But if you sign on PRN and they call you in, hopefully the company's good and they call you in during the week or when you can and have people there, or they pull you on a Saturday, that your first day, you have your orientation, all that. We're going to hope all that's happened. You've been oriented to the facility, to the company, to the documentation, but now you're working a Saturday and the normal PTA that works every Saturday is off. So you're the OT or OTA and you're alone. And you're the only one working. So what I have been in that situation, and what I
Hmm.
have done, and I was new to skilled nursing, and I was only probably I was only 2.5 years out when this happened to me. So I was only 2.5 years out of school, came from peds to geriatrics. So I kind of know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And then I'm there on a Saturday and it's just me. And so um, but I did know the system. I did have my schedule. Back then they also had it all on a clipboard and paper, so you knew who was under your name. So I had that all left for me, and they were nice and they printed out the evals for me with the goals. So that was really nice. If not, I could have logged on the computer and got all that information first. So do I want to do all room treats all day? No. Is that going to be beneficial for every patient? No. So I'm going to, see how it goes. So what I did was I saw a couple people, I was there early, so saw a couple people did all of their ADLs.
Yep.
And then I was feeling good because I'm like, all right, I got 2 people off the list. Now my third, they're talking about I don't want to, I'm already up and ready. I'm getting ready for lunch. So I had to figure out some kind of goal area for them. Well, maybe I did take them to the gym, just the two of us, and did it. But then I was like, ooh, these next three people have self-feeding goals. What a great thing. I'm going to make friends with the nurses and CNAs and see if they all
Mhm.
eat in the dining room or a day room. This place was big where I was. So dining room or day room, or hey, how can I get them all together and be able to knock this out and have some, some good camaraderie too, because I've been seeing everybody individually. So that worked out. They all ate in the big dining room at the same time. I was able to get them all there. So if you are alone to do that, I had to utilize my resources and utilize my people. And so
That's right.
I'd ask them which table I could use for my group lunch treatment. Restorative was so super nice. And they're like, hey, you can have the table by us. That's what the therapists usually do sometimes during the week. So I had the table by restorative. So I brought my first patient and I'm like, hey, um, can you watch them while they sip on their water and I'll be right back. And then got my second, got my third, but I had a
Mhm.
whole team there, a whole room of people to monitor. If I tried to do that in the gym, I would have left one in the gym alone and can't do that. So
That's right.
utilizing the breakfast or utilizing the lunch, utilizing the day room, that's what I got smart after that. I'm like, that worked out really well. I started taking people to the day room with the
Yes.
TV and all of that and just brought what I needed there for their treatment based on their goals. And then I ended up doing a shower in the afternoon because that's when the person wanted to shower. And my day was set up pretty good, but I could not have done that alone. I needed to utilize who was there. So if there's not a team of therapy there, there's also team within the facility. And
That's
that's
right.
how I did it PRN, and everybody was safe. The patients were safe while they waited for me to go grab something or go do something. So that's how I set it up for success.
I think that's a great point, utilizing the different areas, activities, even going in and that's another way that you could maybe do a group if you have a couple patients that go to activities at a certain time, or even ask if you can kind of come in and join the activities with a couple patients to address some of your goals. But I love the feeding one. That's a great point.
And restorative was super helpful. And
Yes.
then I'm glad you said activities too, because they're usually happy to have another person too, because on a Saturday, a lot of times they're down to one person.
Yes.
So collaborating and helping each other, I'm glad you said that. That's huge to help each other out and utilize that activity room or that day room together.
Mhm.
And then, you feel like you're got somebody to lean on if something goes wrong and,
Absolutely. I used activities a lot when I was PRN, and I would come in because, like you were saying, I could go down, grab a patient, bring them to activities, get them up, maybe do ADLs, and then still have a little bit of treatment left, and then go do that with a couple patients. Now they're up for the day, get them in activities. Maybe I do a little group in there, but I have somebody that is helping so that you have those extra eyes on the patients. And like you said, too, the ability to go in and interact with activities, they usually enjoy that also. So I think that's a great
in
idea.
out
And what,
in outpatient, I didn't have any times where I was there alone. There was always other people.
yeah,
Um, in pediatrics, there were times where I was there alone, um, but it was one-on-one.
yeah.
So, and the parent
And
usually,
typically that's scheduled kind of like outpatient too, right? The pediatrics.
but the parent was usually in the waiting room, and I would just leave the door open, and I had, somebody there if I
Hmm.
needed something. Um, so typically that went well. But when you're going into a skilled nursing or a hospital,
Hmm.
you know what? Hospital, same thing. You're going to have to pull on all these other people because if you're the only one there, you can't just have a whole gym of people and say, "Hey, wait here while I go get my other person." You
Hmm.
want to be efficient with your time and you want it to go well, but you also don't want. And sometimes the gym. I know I'm all over the place, but I'm just trying to pull from real life. Sometimes the gym's way far away from everything else too.
Yeah.
So doing therapy beyond the gym. We've talked about doing therapy where they actually live, and
Mm.
activities and the dining room where there's a lot of people is so beneficial if you're the only one. This was a very good subject to bring up because it does happen. And it might
Mhm.
not be something you think of as a new grad signing on PRN. We both hire people, and we know a lot of new grads, they just want to dabble in the PRN world sometimes before taking a full-time job. Some are like all in, jump in. And some are like, you know what, I want to start out PRN, then I'll see what happens. And
Yeah.
this really could be a scenario.
I think another, you made me think of something else too. You may not be able to treat in the gym the whole time that you're there, but not only as an OT, you can go and obviously do your ADLs. You can, pull in maybe meals and activities like we talked about. But I would also make a cart, like use the little rolly cart that they would have in there, and I would bring items with me to the floor. So that way, if maybe this patient was already up, I couldn't do ADLs with them. Whenever I got there and we're going to work on some other goals, I have a cart of things
Mhm.
that maybe I left, like you were saying, if the gym is way far away, that maybe I leave in the activities room. So it's, somewhere secure, but I still have that, um,
Yeah, for sure.
I guess, opportunity to be able to kind of pull from there. So,
Yep. And now you're way more efficient with your time because you're not running back down. There's plenty of places to clean the equipment in between right where you are versus running back down. Oh, I'm going to go grab this. I'm going to grab this. If you've looked at their goal areas, you pull enough things and you're, using your creative skills, you can
mhm,
reach those, work on those goal areas.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
then also in that situation, a clipboard is your best friend because you can take those evals that they printed off for you or a summary that you print off yourself with your dart, and it's all backwards on that. Your schedule's there, all of that's backwards on that clipboard. You can make notes, and then documentation is going to be so much faster
Yeah.
when you get back. And if something, oh, they're not up yet, I'm going to be the one getting them up. Let me go look for some precautions, or you can grab it at a glance. So I love your card idea, and then a clipboard, and you're set up for success. And things are going to
Mhm.
happen, but um, if you're able to, bringing in, some banana bread that you made to the nurse's station or activities, or that's a nice way to say, I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need to rely on you, but I want you to know that I appreciate you and I appreciate it. And I am new and I'm going to use this new card for a long time until I feel very comfortable, but I need you all, especially on a Saturday alone. Here's some banana bread, or if you don't have time to make banana bread, here's some um, fruit and stuff I picked up and muffins. And I just appreciate how much you all help me because I need it. And I
Yep.
think that shows your appreciation too, that you're having to lean on, other staff members so much.
Oh, yeah, that's a great point. And let me tell you, it goes a long way. It goes a long way whenever you do. You could even do something as simple as grabbing a bag of candy and bringing that in for, the CNAs to snack on throughout the day. But it really makes a big difference, and you would be amazed at the help that you will get doing something little like that. Yeah.
And you could have a patient that we talked about last time we were on co-treat. Well, you're there alone, so pulling in another staff member to help with that, or just be there for moral support since it's the first time you're transferring that patient.
Yeah.
Um, if they're going to do that for you, you're helping them, yes, but you're also making more work from them if they're the one that has to put them back to bed. So
Mhm.
kind of use it as a co-treat opportunity and say, come and get me if they, can't stay up. I'm going to be right down this hallway and I'll come back and together we can put them back to bed. They're going to appreciate that too, way more than a muffin, that you just
Yeah.
didn't do all that work and have them help you and now you're gone. You've
Yeah.
saved 15 minutes of your time with them to come back and help them get back to bed. And that goes a long way with staff too. Um, so yeah, I think doing being PRN alone could be very scary, but it's much better than being naked and afraid.
Then PRN and alone.
Have a great time, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. And please send in, that was a great topic someone sent in. So
Yeah.
please send more topics, kombuchaot@gmail.com. Thank you.